The year is 1939. Europe watches with bated breath as the drums of war beat louder. The Nazi war machine under Hitler's command is a growing menace. Poland, the unfortunate first target, is swallowed up in a blitzkrieg, its cries for help echoing across a nervous continent. The world is on the brink, bracing for another devastating conflict. This isn't just another war, it's a fight for survival, a clash of ideologies that will shape the destiny of nations. On one side, we have the Axis powers led by the ruthlessness of Nazi Germany. On the other, the Allied forces, a coalition bound by a common enemy. At the helm of this global conflict emerged two figures who would define the course of World War II: Winston Churchill, the eloquent Prime Minister of Great Britain, and Joseph Stalin, the steely-eyed dictator of the Soviet Union. Their alliance, born out of necessity, would prove to be one of the most significant partnerships in history. Winston Churchill, a man known for his booming voice and even stronger will, takes the helm of a nation staring down the barrel of a gun. Great Britain, geographically vulnerable and facing the full might of the German Luftwaffe, stands defiant. Churchill's wartime leadership is characterized by unwavering determination. He rallies his people with stirring speeches, his words a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. "We shall fight on the beaches," he declares. "We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall never surrender." His strategic mind, honed by years of political and military experience, proves invaluable. He understands the importance of maintaining morale, of keeping the home fires burning even as bombs rain down. Churchill becomes a symbol of British defiance, a bulldog standing firm against the Nazi onslaught. His unwavering belief in victory, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, inspires a nation to fight for its very existence. In the East, another power rises to meet the Nazi threat. Joseph Stalin, the enigmatic and ruthless leader of the Soviet Union, commands a vast army and a nation hardened by years of hardship. Stalin's rule is one of iron control. He governs with an iron fist, eliminating opposition and consolidating his power through fear and intimidation. His paranoia knows no bounds, leading to purges that decimate the ranks of his own party and military. Despite his brutality, Stalin is a shrewd strategist. He recognizes the threat posed by Hitler's Germany, a threat that hits close to home with the Nazi invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941. Forced into an alliance with the West, Stalin's focus remains fixed on securing his own borders and expanding Soviet influence. His leadership, though brutal and unforgiving, proves critical in resisting the Nazi advance on the Eastern Front. From his bunker beneath the streets of London, Churchill directs the British war effort. The Blitz, a relentless aerial bombardment by the Luftwaffe, tests the resolve of the British people. Churchill refuses to buckle under pressure. He understands the importance of maintaining public morale. His radio broadcasts, delivered in his trademark eloquent style, become a lifeline for a nation under siege. He navigates complex diplomatic relations, securing vital aid from the United States and forging unlikely alliances. His ability to inspire and unite his people, even in their darkest hour, solidifies his place as one of history's greatest wartime leaders. Section 5, from the East, Stalin's battlefield strategies. On the Eastern Front, a different kind of war is being waged. The vast steppes of Russia become a battleground of unimaginable brutality. Stalin, ever the pragmatist, adopts a scorched earth policy, leaving nothing but destruction in the wake of the retreating Red Army. His orders are clear, not one step back. Soviet soldiers, often ill-equipped and facing overwhelming odds, fight with a ferocity born of desperation. The Battle of Stalingrad, a turning point in the war, exemplifies the human cost of Stalin's unwavering determination. While Churchill rallies his people with words, Stalin motivates through a combination of fear and fervent patriotism. His strategies, though costly in terms of human life, are instrumental in breaking the back of the German war machine. Section 6. An alliance forged in conflict, common ground and clashing ideologies. The alliance between Churchill and Stalin is one of history's strangest bedfellows. Churchill, a staunch advocate of democracy, finds himself allied with a dictator who embodies everything he opposes. Yet both leaders recognize the necessity of their union in the face of a common enemy. Their relationship is characterized by a mixture of pragmatism and suspicion. They meet on several occasions, including the pivotal Tehran Conference, where they strategize on the opening of a second front in Europe. Despite their ideological differences, Churchill and Stalin find common ground in their shared goal of defeating Nazi Germany. This unlikely alliance, though tested by mistrust and divergent post-war visions, proves essential in securing Allied victory. Section 7. Turning the tide: key decisions and their impact. The tide of the war begins to turn. Key decisions made by Churchill and Stalin, often in the face of immense pressure, shape the course of the conflict. Churchill's gamble to reinforce the Mediterranean theatre against the advice of some of his advisors pays off with Allied victories in North Africa and Italy. Stalin's relentless pressure on the Eastern Front, culminating in the Battle of Kursk, cripples the German army and forces Hitler's forces into a costly retreat. The D-Day landings, a testament to the combined might of the Allied forces, mark the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. These victories, hard-fought and costly, are the result of strategic planning, unwavering resolve, and the sacrifices of millions. The combined efforts of Churchill and Stalin, despite their differences, prove instrumental in turning the tide of the war in favor of the Allies. Section 8. Victory and its aftermath, shaping the post-war world. As the dust settles on a shattered Europe, the Allied victory brings with it a mix of relief and uncertainty. The defeat of Nazi Germany marks the end of a global conflict, but it also ushers in a new era, one defined by the emerging rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Churchill and Stalin, once united against a common enemy, find themselves on opposing sides of a growing ideological divide. The wartime alliance, forged in the fires of conflict, crumbles under the weight of mutual suspicion and competing visions for the future. The seeds of the Cold War are sown, casting a long shadow over the post-war world. Section 9. Legacies of war: the enduring impact of Churchill and Stalin. Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin, two leaders who played pivotal roles in shaping the 20th century, leave behind complex and often contradictory legacies. Churchill, the eloquent statesman and unwavering wartime leader, is remembered for his courage, his eloquence, and his unwavering belief in democracy. His wartime speeches continue to inspire, his words a testament to the power of human resilience in the face of adversity. Stalin's legacy is far more controversial. His brutal regime, responsible for the deaths of millions, stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power. Yet his role in defeating Nazi Germany and his transformation of the Soviet Union into a global superpower cannot be ignored. Churchill and Stalin, two sides of the same coin, their lives and leadership forever intertwined with the tumultuous events of World War II. Their decisions, their victories, and their failures continue to shape our understanding of the 20th century and the delicate balance of power in the world today.